Live from the ABC 7 Broadcast Center, this is ABC 7 News at noon on your side.
A ritual of remembrance at the Eternal Flame, 50 years now since the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. A look back at an event that changed a country and a leader who inspired the nation.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
For much of the nation, 50 years ago seems like yesterday. People alive that day will never forget where they were when President Kennedy was shot. This noon, we're live in Dallas where the tragedy unfolded, but we begin with our John Gonzalez and the ceremonies happening here in our area.
I'm remembering with a kind of heavy heart today.
1,300 miles from downtown Dallas, here at Arlington National Cemetery, a solemn wreath-laying ceremony was held this morning at the gravesite of President John F. Kennedy. A second tribute will be held this afternoon at the Tomb of the Unknown.
I wanted to go into the Peace Corps, and he wanted to go into government service, and all these years, and that was the inspiration directly of a young President Kennedy.
This Arlington couple walks these hallowed grounds each day. It's still difficult to keep tears away.
So we're very glad the memorial's here, and we feel privileged that we can see this every day.
They were profoundly changed, like millions of Americans on that day. Events during President Kennedy's 2.5-year term included the Bay of Pigs invasion, the Cuban Missile Crisis, and the escalation of the Vietnam War. But it's that mid-November day District resident Beverly Mitchell will never forget.
I was 8 years old and remember it very well. Remember that it felt as though there was a loss in the family.
At the Cathedral of St. Matthew the Apostle downtown, parishioners will be attending a special Mass of remembrance for the nation's only Catholic president to date.
I think nobody's separated from the television set for the next 3 days.
It was right here in front of the cathedral where John F. Kennedy Jr. stood on his 3rd birthday and saluted his father's casket as the funeral mass ended 50 years ago. The same cathedral today will hold a special Mass remembering the country's 35th president. In Northwest Washington, John Gonzalez, ABC 7 News.
And here's a live look at the U.S. Capitol. President Obama, though you can't see it here, has ordered all the flags on government buildings to be flown at half-staff today. Earlier this week, President Obama visited President Kennedy's gravesite. Today, he is meeting with representatives from the Peace Corps, which President Kennedy established.